Hey.
Hey.
So go on your page and make sure it's showing up. Could you do that on your phone?
I can't go from my babe. Can you get on your phone from my page? Can you get on your
And
phone?
her.
Can you get on your
Because her
phone from my
page should have
page?
been tagged as well.
I seen you put you shared a reel on this phone on my page.
No, it should be the live. It should be shared. I tagged you both, but when I went to y'all pages, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it. Tag go on your page. See if it's on my page.
Oh shoot, I got it in my hotspot.
I don't know. If I got it. Hold on, give me a second.
Just go to my page and hit share, and then share it on your walls.
Yeah.
Maybe it hasn't. Because it's showing that it's shared, but when I go to your page, I don't see it.
Yeah, we got it.
You got it.
Nice, my beauty.
Okay. Right. You good?
Be perfect.
Alrighty. Good evening. So we good. Lighting is good. Lighting is good. All right. All right. We thank y'all for joining us. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I do have the chat open for those that may comment. And I see you do have it on your YouTube too.
Yeah.
I saw the other two. Okay, good. Great.
Yeah.
All good? Okay, so slide over a little bit. Somehow you didn't get out the screen. To my left. Yeah. So how y'all doing?
We good.
We good.
How are you?
I'm good.
There's your tea on my tea.
We
Okay,
was
we good.
chatting behind the wall about the the excitement, the adrenaline and anxiety and everything. So but I think this evening is going to be amazing. I think it's going to be powerful. Thank y'all for trusting me to share y'all story. I don't take it lightly. This is Let's Talk About April, each and every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We stream live on all platforms. And this evening, we want y'all to meet the Campbells. This is a big deal. I'm excited about their story and about everything they're going to share with us this evening. I feel honored that they selected me to be able to get on this platform and allow them to help themselves if we help others, right?
Of
So I want
course.
you guys to introduce yourselves individually for those that may or may not know you. Just introduce yourself, mission where you were born and raised, and dynamics of your family, like siblings or children.
Okay, I'm gonna start first. So, my name is Franchelle England Campbell. I was born in Washington D.C., raised in Southeast D.C. Um, I have one brother on my mom's side, and I have two brothers on my dad's side and two sisters on my dad's side. I'm the middle child, and I have three children. I have twins, and I also have they all girls. I also have an older daughter, 119. My twins just turned 8.
Oh, it's my turn. Hello, everybody. My name is Jamela Campbell. I'm 35, born in the Philippines, raised in Brooklyn, New York. I have one sibling. He's autistic, and I raised as a military brat. So I was a military baby growing up. So
Okay.
the only daughter, the oldest child, and then my brother who's younger than me. He 3 years younger than me with autism.
Okay. Were you raised in the same household with your little brother?
Yeah, we were raised in the same household.
And is this in New York or is this?
Well, currently living in Maryland right now. Me and my I haven't seen my brother in a few months, but yeah, but we're in
Where was
separate.
he
We're in.
born?
He was actually born in Japan.
Oh, wow.
And we were raised in Maryland together. So
Oh, okay.
we were raised in separate cities together.
So you traveled a lot. Your household moved a lot.
Yeah, household moved a lot, but not a lot of stability.
Okay. I mean, that's essentially what happens when you move a lot, right?
Hmm.
That, that's the lack of stability in it. And it can be, and it's so interesting because you have some people have a story that moved a lot, and it wasn't because they were a military family. It was because of other situations, but moving a lot is moving a lot. You know what I'm saying? And being
Yeah, for
comfortable
sure.
moving still kind of has that same effect. Would you agree?
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
How old were you when you came here?
Um, I was 2.
Okay.
Because I left the Philippines when I was born. I was born with Mount Pinatubo erupted in the Philippines. Um, so we had to do an emergency flight here to Hawaii, because I was born with gastroschisis, which is a condition where your intestines were born out your stomach. I was born in the house, so my mother birthed me in the house, and my intestines were out my stomach. So it's no when you're born in the house, it's no doctors or nurses, so you only have midwives. So being as though my father, he was in the Air Force, and it was a lot going on. I was able to get rushed with him to Hawaii. So to be honest, you could actually say 1 years old, I was actually came to the States.
That's interesting. Oh, excuse me. I never heard of that. So is that something you grow out of? How does that typically?
Um, so gastroschisis, all it is they just put
Back?
your intestines back into your stomach. But as
I'm
far
sorry,
as
my dog's up there
No, that's
fighting.
as
okay.
far as growing up, you have a lot of digestive problems, which,
Mhm.
as me now being 35, I do. I started having digestive problems when I was 17, 18 years old. But it's a very rare condition, though.
Yeah, I know I've never heard of that condition. Okay, so I'm sure that is giving you some endurance, unlike others that have to, endure that at such a young age.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't
so,
got no belly button, so I call myself
uh,
alien
That's
form.
funny.
dogs, so trust me, it happens. What can you do? Don't even worry about it. How do you prefer I
Because
address
they
you?
up there tripping, man.
How would you prefer I address you? What name you prefer me call you? Because you got like 3 names.
Me?
Yes.
My name is Franchelle, which is the name
Friendship.
that
Okay.
you see on my Facebook page is my kids.
Oh, okay, okay. That's what was kind of confused. I was like, because at first, okay, got it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Oh wow. So, I've been out of my mom's home since I was 12. I had got juvenile life. Um, due to fighting, a lot of running away from my mom, a lot of not really getting the attention that I really needed. So that's what made me run away from my mom. And then I ended up in a system for runaway and truancy. And then
Take your time.
um, so then once I got in the system, it was like once you're in the system, you can't really get out. Um, unless you, especially as a juvenile, especially if you got a lot of anger issues and I guess mental issues like such as bipolar and anxiety and stuff. So it was a lot for me. Um,
Take your time, baby. Take your time. Take your time.
I met my dad when I was 10 at a birthday party. For the whole time before 10, I thought someone else was my father. However, I met my dad my 10th birthday party, and um, I've been happier ever since,
Mm,
but not really. That's when everything started at 12.
mm,
Um, Things happened in my life where I was molested, I was raped, and I just had anger, and I didn't have a voice for real. And I talked about it, but it ain't going nowhere. So I just started taking my anger out on people that I felt like needed it if they provoked me. And I ended up going to jail a few times. And so the last time I had to do juvenile life,
mm. How old were you when you were sentenced to juvenile life?
I was 13. No, actually, I was 15. 15.
You was 15 when you were sentenced to juvenile life.
Mhm.
And this was this also due to fighting, or was this a different type of charge?
Yes. It was actually, I was on the run for a while before I actually, when I turned myself, I was on the run from stabbing three girls that jumped me when I went to a school that I never thought I would go to, which was Cardoza. And I got jumped because I wasn't from that side. But due to being in transitional housing, waiting for disposition, for being, you know, on probation, I was waiting for disposition in different shelter homes. And so um, I had to go to different schools. So my last school was Cardoza. And the fact that I'm from Southeast, you know, Cardoza in the West. Excuse me, Cardoza in the West. So the fact that I'm from Southeast, you know, a lot of people knew that that's where I was from, you know, because I rep that. Okay, but at the end of the day, they jumped me on the way coming home from school, and I went back and stabbed them three while being on probation. So I had to run away from the shelter that I was in, and I was on the run for a whole year. And then I was staying with a family member, which I love her so much, for helping me with that. Um, she know who she is if she's watching, Auntie. I had to stay with her for that whole year until I was ready to stop running. So I ended up turning myself in, and I had to do the juvie life for until I was, you know, it was time for me to come out.
So how was that? Because I hear you. It's not having a voice, not being seen, not getting attention you feel like you need at a young age. So you run away from home, which created a lot of anger, I'm sure, and frustration. I'm very familiar with that. And so it's what we call it is we bleed on those that didn't cut us, right? We're just lashing out, right? We angry, we're resentful, we're bitter. Um, and so I can relate to going through that at that age. I was a very angry, frustrated, bitter child as well. Um,
Yeah.
didn't necessarily run away because I was kind of spoiled, so I didn't need to. Nevertheless,
And I was spoiled
I
before then. That's what's crazy. I was spoiled before that. Like it was when my brother left and ran away from my mom. Is when my mom, I felt like she was trying to show me the attention, but then she wasn't.
so when your brother left, that's kind of when you started running away, and so now you're caught up in the system, which you're trying to also run away from, and you get an altercation, you retaliate, you get juvenile life. How did that feel for you at such a young age? Getting juvenile. Did you understand it when they sentenced you to juvenile life? Were you
Um,
old enough to understand what that meant?
I had to learn to understand
Mhm.
throughout the years and the time, and um, I didn't really, I didn't really feel like, you know, I was in some type of big prison that made me feel like I was, you know, um, a criminal. It just made me feel like I needed the help at the time, so it made me stronger.
Mm, that's good. That's good. So Excuse me. So in spite of the reason at that time you needed that, it was it. I mean, I hate to call this, but it was a bit of stability, right? Being in the
Yeah,
same place for an extended period of time, and now you're being seen, right? Because
yeah,
of the circumstance you found yourself in. So it's almost like you were getting the things you felt like you needed at home
yeah,
in a detention center. That sounds
yeah,
about right.
yeah. It's cold. Excuse me. She won't turn the heat up a little bit.
No worries. And
That's
so,
crazy.
now so now you're coming to a place where you're getting the help you feel like you need it.
Yes,
And so when it's time to transition out of it, because it was a detention center, I'm sure, right?
yes,
A youth detention center.
yes.
Okay. So you said you were getting the help you needed. Did something transpire in a detention home that you think might have pulled something else out of you that might have been triggering, or was it just all helpful and therapeutic that process?
It was the both because it was like, well, it was actually like therapeutic of not being on the streets catching another charge, but then it was like, dang, I'm in here catching another charge because I've caught other charges as well. And while I was incarcerated, that's what made me stay a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was on COs, it was on inmates, it was just on like different things. So riots, all types of things that was happening up in the jail in the detention center. So and it was like I was always the leader.
Mm-hmm. And so the healing that was needed to face the anger wasn't dealt with in there. It sounds like because it's like you were still angry, right?
Yeah, I when I came home, I didn't leave. Um, when I came home, I still was somewhat on the same, but my mental was saying no, I don't want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but my mental was still on the same, but I kind of was rational a little bit, if it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's still
So
like my mental was still there for
right,
where
so
though
it's
if
almost
anybody
like
mess with me, I'm
mentally.
ready.
So mentally, you hadn't outgrown that anger and frustration, but you know you didn't want to go back to where you
Yes,
came. So
yes,
do you think that that's when you were attempting to make a transition?
yes.
Okay, okay. Was there any additional help that you was able to get to deal with the frustration and the molestation? Anything else that you went through? Were you able to get
Yes.
therapy?
It was therapy. I had a therapist and a psychiatrist. Once I moved to Maryland, if I would have stayed in DC, it would have never happened. But once I moved to Maryland, I got the help that I need a little bit by telling my story and bringing it out and talking to multiple therapists and going to therapy and talking to my psychiatrist about things and actually being prescribed medicine, which I've never took.
No, I
But
understand.
I did try to take it, so but it didn't work for me. Medication didn't work for me. It's just about me talking and having my voice work for me.
Because you mentioned that you didn't have a voice. I heard that. You mentioned that you didn't have a voice. And so talking about it at least gave you that, if nothing else, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you, how do you feel when you hear her story? How does it make you feel knowing that you have somewhat of a completely different background, it sounds like, as far as your childhood?
Oh, as of me listening to my wife's story, um, we most definitely have been through two different childhoods, two different backgrounds. Of course, I haven't been through a lot of the things that my wife has been through. My childhood more so was more depressive and loneliness.
Mm,
So, I completely see and understand why, my wife is who she is now as more so what she's told me and, her growing up. My wife is definitely a very strong person and my wife most definitely has a voice that I love, and she has no problem expressing it. So from knowing the type of person that she was as in her childhood to now, she's definitely overcame a lot.
mhm. So there's a term, and I'm sure we've heard it before. We hear it all throughout social media, the trauma bond, right? And so sometimes, even though we have completely different backgrounds, upbringings, right? Sometimes it just simply takes just pain. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you've never been in prison, maybe you've never been molested, but there's still a pain that exists, right? That can somewhat not just help you empathize with a person, but it actually can help you through a bond with the person. You know what I'm saying? And so I
Yeah.
heard you say it was depressive. And so
Yes.
was depression more so because of the lack of stability?
Um, that as well as feeling very alone. My father, who is now deceased, he was my best friend.
My condolences too.
Um, um, my childhood was very depressive because I didn't have my best friend. You know, but of course my wife is my best friend. But growing up, my dad was there, but he wasn't there. Um, he was always overseas, especially with his career. He was always gone. The only times I really got to hear from my dad was talking to him. Um, but while he was away back at home, you know, I don't blame my brother. My brother is my heart, is my soul. I love my brother to death, and but it's more so me and my mother, and even up until now as an adult, me and my mother were never close.
Mm.
Um, I understand that when you have a child with a disability, you have to give them a little extra love, a little extra more attention because of that certain type of disability or that certain type of thing that they're going through. Um, and I thought with my mom, even just with the slightest little um, attention that would veer off, I felt like my mom was actually giving a lot more from my brother than me. We didn't do the things that we used to do. I don't know if because my mom was frustrated, because my parents were in the process of going through a divorce when I was 16. So knowing that, it made me be a troublemaker. I was skipping school. I almost didn't graduate high school. Um, I took my first wine cooler when I was 14. I smoked an actual cigarette when I was 15. I didn't know about weed till I was 15. Um, I was raped when I was 17. Um, I felt like as my dad was gone, the longer he was gone, the more distant and lonely I was from my mom. When I did come home from school, I go straight to my room. I was very depressed. Um, it was really hard growing up for me. And my mom was a foster child growing up, so I don't know if it had anything to do with her not really, having her parents to really show her how to be a parent. Not to say that my mom wasn't a good parent. She helped us through, but it was just really hard without my dad being physically around.
So it sounds like the relationship with your father was so strong that his absence created a void for you. And that void just got broader and broader, right?
Yes.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. It sounds like at some point, I'm not sure if mom could have felt that void, right? Because that was a personal, intimate bond with dad. That doesn't take anything from her, right?
No.
Just sometimes when a void is created via someone in an intimate relationship, only that person can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And so, excuse me, it's cough. And so it sounds like, even if, and I don't, so I'm going to tread lightly with this statement, but I think you yearn for your father so much that even if your mother gave you a little more attention, I don't know if it would have sufficed. It might have helped, right? I don't know if it would have sufficed. And I just say that confidently because I understand the void, having the absence and hoping that something or someone could fill it. And the more you search and the more you grow and evolve, you realize can't nobody fill it but that person. And unfortunately, as you share, he's now in transition. You know what I'm saying? So it's my heart bleeds for you. I'm really sorry to hear that. Had an amazing relationship with my father. My father's always been in my life. So I'm very familiar with that. When he transitioned, my grief was so delayed, I literally don't even know how long it's been. I would have to look at the obituary. I tell people a few years ago, and I think it's been way longer, but my grief started. It was such a delay before I actually started grieving that I be feeling like it was a few years ago. And I think it was probably, it might have been 8 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
So I only said to say I can empathize and sympathize with understanding that void and feeling, because unfortunately a lot of us in our culture are grown up without the father. That's typically the story, right? Dad was, I didn't meet him, and so when you have the opportunity, to have a relationship with the father, especially as a young lady, it just there's not much anyone can do to fill that void. God can attempt to, and I say that confidently, attempt to, you know what I'm saying? But that's just a void only Dad could fill. And so I definitely empathize with your grief, and it sounds very fresh. It doesn't sound like something you probably even really come to grips with yet. Probably seems unrealistic at this point is what it sounds like.
Yeah. He passed away in May of last year. I guess it hurts even more because it's the relationship he had with my wife as well. They had a really good relationship. And my dad, he's he's to himself a lot, so he doesn't really deal with too many people. And I've been through a lot of heartbreaks in my past relationships and things like that. So to have a person who he actually can sit down in his chair while she's sitting in the kitchen cooking dinner and actually have a full conversation without me being there, um, it meant a lot to me, being as though both my best friends were there talking to each other. So that's why it hit a lot harder,
For the both of
for
us, to
both
be
of
honest.
us. And I wasn't there to tell my dad.
The day I was going into I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The day I was going into an alcohol program is the day he died. So I didn't get a chance to finish the alcohol program because I had to come out and be with my wife. Um, but I did slow down. I did learn a few things.
So I wanted to ask, I hear the similarities of trauma, right? The similarities of experiences that you both unfortunately shared. Um, you don't have to answer this question directly if you're not comfortable, so don't feel forced to. But I'm feeling a lot and I'm sensing a lot and I'm just trying to put together everything I'm feeling in my heart. So was the inappropriate situation you both faced, was it a family member for both of you guys that inappropriately touched you? Was it someone in the home?
Yes.
Yeah, I unfortunately assume that. Not that I know anything about your families. It's just it's a correlation of pain, if that makes sense. And not that someone's pain is lesser or lighter if it was in the household. It's just something similar about the pain when it's someone within the household, because you can kind of sense when someone doesn't feel like they've been protected. And most people that don't feel like they've been protected is because they experience something like that in their household, right? And so, how would you describe what it did for you and individually at the time? Because you both sound like you were young, right? Are we talking about preteen?
Well, at the time for me, mine was a little before 10. So um, it really was a pattern, not even for just me. But I don't want to talk about, the pattern it was with, but it was a pattern. However, I forgave because God told me to, and still accepted the person in my life, which he's now deceased. However, um, it didn't kill me. It made me stronger compared to everything else.
Yeah, some people don't come back from it. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's a statement to make. Some people lose themselves behind incidents like that.
And that's also the reason why that's not the reason why I'm with a woman either. Because I have been with men after that. I think that may have pushed me to be with men more at an early age. But that's not the reason why I'm with a woman.
How would you describe what that experience was like for you at that time at such a young age?
Um, it was very traumatizing. Um, when you're at a young age, you think, or you to believe as a child that your family member is supposed to love you, and when it happens to a family member that's supposed to love you, as being a child, at first you think, okay, maybe this is what's supposed to happen. This is love, until you start to realize when it's a consistent process that when you're going through pain and going through abuse at the same token, that it's not what it is. um so my experience, um it's made me want to have sex more, but it reared me into one to be attracted to women. I despise men. If it wasn't my brother, or if it wasn't my father, any man outside of those two, I couldn't. I didn't want to look. I didn't want them to speak to me. I didn't. I tried every ways to avoid even that member of the family that did it to me. Um, I tried very hard not to make trips to go to New York when it was when my aunt had family functions. Um, I didn't. I couldn't see myself being with a man because that family member hurt me to the depths of my mind, body, and soul. Um, Traumatized me, made me feel that every man, if it wasn't my father, my brother, was gonna do that to me, or I hated him, or I would lash out him. And it took me a long time. It took me into my adulthood to really have to come to realization with myself that, all right, it's a situation that was very traumatic, that was very wrong, but everybody's not the same. Not every man's the same, but it hasn't. I still deal with women. That's not going. No matter if my mind changed, that I'm still gonna be with a woman. I'm married to one. That's my reasoning behind of why I ended up being attracted to women and started dating women.
No, that's totally understandable. I've looked into cases of people that were molested, be a male or female. And one thing it mentions that it provokes within that individual is the promiscuousness, right? It makes you, um, it actually increases your sex drive, right? In spite of how traumatizing, devastating it was, right? Um, and I think that's such an unfortunate part of the process. You know what I'm saying? That it kind of
Yeah,
it kind of pulls out
definitely.
the worst in you, in a sense, based on someone else's demons, right, that they're facing. And so I say that to say that when I heard you both say it, I said to myself, yeah, I looked into that because that's typically the process. You just become, some people completely withdraw though, but for the most part, most of us kind of become more promiscuous after
Yeah,
separation.
and like I said, with mine, it didn't make me not like men, and it didn't push me to have sex more. It just made me the person that I am. That's it.
It definitely has a, from what I understand, it has a ability to kind of shape you mentally and emotionally in a way that most times would have never shaped you in that way had it not happened.
Yeah,
It's almost like I've heard people say things like, I probably would have had a completely different life had that not happened to me.
yeah.
Um, so that's unfortunate. Um, but I want to ask both. Um, so now you're teenagers, right? And you're kind of growing up, and you're kind of understanding not necessarily what happened, but just kind of dealing with it, fighting through it, right? Has either one of you ever got counseling for that at all?
After I didn't have a voice for that situation,
Mm-hmm.
I never really talked about it anymore. After it was brushed under the rug, I just more so talked about how I didn't have a voice and what my mom pretty much put me through, and how I was incarcerated and stuff like that. That's what I mostly talked about now. I don't even bring that situation up anymore.
And most don't. Most don't like to revisit that. You know, that's a
Because it's a
painful
lot
thing.
has transpired since then. Like I said, that was before I was 10.
Right.
Way too much has transpired before that.
That's,
I mean, after that. So I don't want to relive that part. But, you know, I'm glad I was able to talk about it today because I really haven't talked about it, since it got brushed under the rug. So, um, yeah, a lot has happened since then. So I didn't get counseling for that. I counseled myself through that, if it makes sense.
mm-hmm.
Um, but with everything else that I've been through as a teenager, as my childhood, I definitely did get therapy, did get a little help, growing up as my teenage years after getting out of being incarcerated. I did seek therapy. I did see psychiatrists. Like I said, they did put me on medication. I was so scared to take it because one day I took it for the first time and I woke up with Bell's palsy. So, and I don't know if it was due to stress. I don't know if it was due to whatever, but I woke up with Bell's palsy after being on the medication for so long, but never taking it. And then finally trying to take it because I feel like I'm hitting rock bottom and I need to. And I finally take it. And then I wake up the next day with Bell's palsy. And I still to this day don't want to take none of the medication. I still got it. I still prescribe it because you got to prescribe the stuff, right? And my doctor may be watching this, but doctor, I'm sorry, I'm scared. But yeah, I don't take the medication. For real, I don't like take no medication, no pain medicine, no nothing. I had surgery, major surgeries, and just don't take the medicine, no pain medicine. I just deal with stuff on my own, which is a
Most of us
problem, but
do
it's
that.
not a
And
problem.
we learn that. We learn to just fight through it. sweep it under the rug, keep moving. And we learned that from the generations prior to us. They didn't get help. They didn't seek counseling. They swept it under the rug. And so, unfortunately, these generational curses just repeat themselves. And so, okay, now you guys are, let's say, where are we now? 18, 19. Where are we now in life?
So I met with me. You want to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. So with me at 18, I met my oldest child father. He took me under his wing. Well, I met him a little after I came home from being incarcerated. Okay, and then he waited and I lied to him about my age. Okay, cool. He waited till I was 18 to get me pregnant with my oldest. That's my oldest child that's about to be 20. Um, and I lived with him up until I was like 21. So I want to say roughly about 17 to 21, something like that. That's when we broke up at 21. Um, and I really don't want to speak on that topic, but after that, that's when I had my first child at 19 years old. So I was pregnant
How
at
old is
18.
she now?
I was pregnant at 18. She's about to be 20.
20, okay.
Uh-huh. So I was pregnant at 18, had her at 19. So it's like roughly around my late 18 years, months or whatever. And then I had her at 19. I had a midwife. I had her in a natural whirlpool, which was the best experience for me for my first time because I always say I don't want no epidurals. And that was my first time being pregnant. So I had her in a whirlpool at a birthing center. And once I had her, um, it was like we living our life. Like the life was lived. Um, then after that, after my 18, after me and my kid, my oldest daughter's father broke up. She stayed with him. I got my first place. He was already established, okay, because he was a lot older than me. So she stayed with him. And I moved on and got me a place or whatnot, and got my first place at roughly around 22. I was running from house to house from the 21 to 22. So then, and that was with my friends, my childhood friends, or whatnot. And then I ended up getting my very first place at 22. So that's where I'm at with that part.
Okay. So where are you, 18, 19?
Well, for me, it wasn't that. It wasn't that side that I wasn't there. 18, 18, 19. In high school, like I said earlier, um, I almost didn't graduate high school. Again, it took for my dad to really nip it in the butt. Hey, you got to graduate high school. You need to do this. My dad was, um, he's very in the books. As you know, in the Air Force, when you're in the Air Force, it's all about books. It's completely different than all the other branches in the military. So they're considered the smartest of all branches. But college just wasn't for me. So 18, 19 years old, I graduated high school. I went to Job Corps, Woodland Job Corps Center, and I took up facility maintenance as a trade. Graduated from there. Um, my trade teacher, he wanted me to go to advanced training in New York, but because of my past and because I didn't want to leave my brother as well, I turned down the advanced training, and just stuck with the basic training, just stuck with what I learned. Um, 21, around 2021, I went through another trauma of being raped, um, and going through um,
Take your time.
going back through going back to that depression, that trauma, that hurt. I thought when I was younger that was it for me, but it happened again. But it wasn't my family. Um, So at that point in time is when I really just started really hitting a rough patch. My mental just really, my mental just really was messed up around that time. That's when everything just really just started going downhill for me and individually. Um, when I started getting thoughts that why me, why me was questions I asked to myself every day. Because why me? So I really hit a rock bottom on a mental aspect and individually by myself. You know, not having nobody. I didn't go to my mom. I didn't go to my dad. I was just really by myself, and I chose that. Me chose that because I didn't want to be a burden on what my pain and my trauma I went through. So being as though I kept a lot of things to myself, my situation is different from my wife. Her childhood, she had to, she couldn't speak, and now as an adult, she expresses very well, and it's opposite for me. And it's hard when it's opposite for me, and as an adult, trying to go through life or trying to express yourself, and a lot of times my mental's not where it's at, and I think it's just all happened from between 16 and 21.
I'm deeply sorry that either one of you had to experience what your experience is. I don't personally feel like enough people give the attention towards what people are harboring and dealing with every day. You know what I'm saying? We're in a very judgmental society. And I think it's always been that way. I think it's definitely gotten much worse. Um, and I think oftentimes, especially with social media, people tend to pass judgment on someone based on whether it's their lifestyle, whether it's who they're dating, whether it's how they create their content, whatever the situation is. And without any empathy to what that person could have experienced and what they're fighting through today. Um, yeah, we get older. Yeah, we forgive. Most of us can't forget. We can't forget. Even when we try, we can't forget. Forgiving and forgetting are so far in between. You know what I'm saying? That they can leave a person broken for a long time. It can keep a person in a dark space for a long time. And sometimes I don't think we have enough patience or enough grace to give people for what they're battling through, what they're going through mentally, spiritually, emotionally, financially. You know, so I definitely I empathize with you guys in the experience, and you mentioned it earlier. It's the strength. It's strength that's endured through that. You know what I'm saying? So I know you guys aren't here for a pity party. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys aren't here for someone
Like I
to
told you, I don't forgive for me. I forgive because God wants me to.
exactly. And
It's
forgiveness
not
is for
for me.
you anyway.
I mean, it's for me, for my own
Yeah, yeah.
healing, not for them.
Right.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And because God told me to forgive
Hmm.
for me.
Hmm. Because when we
So,
don't forgive, we stay stuck. We
exactly.
That's when
Exactly.
mentally we get bombarded with the thoughts when we don't forgive. So essentially, oftentimes people think forgiveness, but forgive her, forgive him. I'll forgive her, but I'm gonna forgive me first.
And I can honestly say I did grow because I didn't forgive nobody. I didn't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly grew because I didn't give a damn about forgiving nobody. I didn't care about your feelings. I was just ready to go off, ready to fight, ready to do this, ready to do that. So I can honestly say I really did grow compared to my 20s because even my early 30s, I'm 38. So even my early 30s up until probably 35, to be honest. Let's be clear. I've changed a lot in the last 2 years, like I said, especially ever since I lost my child. Like that's one thing.
Yeah. You wanna dive into that? You wanna talk about when you first conceived, how old you were when you conceived your twins?
Um, I was 30.
30.
Yeah, they 8 now, so yeah, I was 30. 30, 31. Mm-hmm. They just turned 8, January 15th.
Okay. So what was that process with twins? Did you do a midwife with them as well?
No, because I was on a high risk,
Okay.
so I had to get a C-section.
Okay.
Because I was pregnant previous before that and lost my son. He had what is called fetus demise. It was fetus demise. So they put me on high risk because like right after I lost him 2015, I got pregnant with them 2016.
Oh. Okay.
So I just looked at it as God made me lose one because I wasn't ready, and He blessed me with two. And which I didn't even know about the two when I first found out I was pregnant. I
Oh
only knew about one
yeah.
until I goes in the doctor because I was on a job because I always worked while I was pregnant the whole time. And I goes on the job and I got punched in my chest by one of my clients because I used to do care work. Um, and one of my clients had punched me in my chest or whatnot. So I was pregnant big. I was only like 4 months. And but I was big because apparently I was pregnant with twins, but didn't know. So I go to the hospital to check on that one baby. They do the sonogram and stuff, and she get quiet. Mind you, I'm already on edge because I had already just lost a son. So it's like, man, what's going on? Why you so quiet? Why she doing my ultrasound? And she was like, cause I'm trying to get two of them in the in the picture. I said,
Mm-hmm.
no. She said I'm trying to get both of them in the picture. And I said, what you mean both? I said, shut up and do your job, right? I said, stop playing with me so much. What you mean both? She said, yeah, it's two sacks. I'm trying to get them both so you can see it. I said, so you saying I'm pregnant with twins? I said, my doctor would have told me that. Like, that don't even make sense. My doctor would have seen that baby, but apparently one baby was hid behind the other.
Oh,
And that's how I found out I was pregnant with twins.
okay.
Yep.
With your son, did you go full term, or was that a mix?
No, that was only 18 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he passed away in my, while I was pregnant, and I went to go to my doctor's appointment. He was moving around a lot, but I'm figuring that he was moving around fighting for his life.
Mm-hmm.
But he was moving around so much. So once we got to the my doctor's appointment, my normal regular doctor's appointment, and I was feeling them moving up until we got to the back. Once we got to the back, they said they didn't hear a heartbeat, and the people sent me home pregnant instead of sending me. Told me not to go to the hospital, so I had to go home because they thought he was going to release on his own, like miscarry on his own, but unfortunately he didn't, and I had to sleep overnight with my baby in my stomach, knowing he was deceased. So I took myself to the hospital, and I was in labor for 14 hours to deliver my deceased son vaginally after getting medication for for him to come out.
It's just
So that's why I was so much on high risk with the twins.
twins.
Yeah.
So with the twins, you were able to go full term.
No, 23 weeks.
23
They
weeks.
were premature.
Okay.
And that's why one of them was severely disabled. They both were premature, but one of them was severely disabled.
I'm so sorry. I cannot imagine. That's why you're so strong. You just go through one battle after another and still standing. understand. The tears are healing you. Know that. The tears
Yeah.
are healing you. And so through that process, did they both have to stay in the hospital for a certain period of time, or?
Yes. So the one that's still here, her name is Ava. Um, she came home on my birthday. She stayed 5 months in the NICU. Amari, one that passed just recently, 2 years ago, as of September. Um, she had to stay for 9 months. But when she came home, she gave me 7 years of her life. 7.
God,
I took care of my babies to the death of me by myself
God did that.
with the other twin running around with dogs running around. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the nurses wasn't doing their job. And then that's when my wife came along. I had a relationship with my first female relationship. I mean, it wasn't my first, but it was a first as an adult. I had to look, when you're young, you be curious, and I was gay for the stay while I was in jail.
Okay,
Um,
I'm done.
but no, for real, I was gay for the stay in jail. But that was some curious stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I had a relationship with a woman for the first time after breaking up with the twins' father in 2021. Um, let's just say it didn't end well. I could be in jail right now. Thank God I am not. Thank God she didn't press charges on me. Thank God she didn't do anything. But it's just like I said, I really wasn't gonna go back to no more women. I wasn't gonna be
Why?
with a man, no woman, no
Why
nobody.
do you think you felt that way? What about that experience made you feel that way?
Because I was always provoked to do. First of all, she was always want to fight me. She was jealous of me as her girlfriend. I didn't understand why. I don't know if it's because whatever she's going through or whatever she was going through at the time. But she used to always want to fight. It's like, and then she'll provoke me to do something to her, and it wasn't like, and even when I just sit back or remove myself from, the situation, she'll follow me or whatnot for me to just keep provoking me, and it just got bad one day, and I think that she still didn't even leave after that day, but I gave up. I said, no, you know what? It can get worse than what it is. Let me remove myself. She ain't gonna remove herself, apparently, after that episode. So let me remove myself, and that's how I got out of that.
Okay. And so that relationship ended before one of the twins transitioned, or was it afterwards?
It was before.
It was before. Okay. Okay.
Because I met Jamila when the twins, when she was here.
Okay. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was trying to figure out the timetable. Because
Yeah, this was
I saw
before.
the wedding pictures and I was just trying to figure out the timetable.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, this is a strength to even be able to share y'all story. This is just, wow. You have no idea how many people wouldn't dare do this. They wouldn't have the courage. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have the strength, the vulnerability, because this is called helping somebody. Y'all helping yourself, but y'all also helping others as well. I don't say that lightly, and I don't say it loosely. Um, you'd be surprised how people see the clips of the interviews and the messages I get from what that 2-minute clip did for somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's just understand that there is a mission that y'all have been assigned for. We'll get into that later, or maybe offline. I ain't going to get too deep into it right
Then
now.
we do a 10 for 10 now for wine.
Yeah. Well, let me share a few of these comments before we continue. Okay, so Love Being Beautiful. Y'all know who that is? Says she loves you guys. She's from Facebook. She's been watching you guys for a minute now. You're very authentic. Love being beautiful is the name.
Thank you so much. No, we don't know a lot of people. There
No,
used to be a lot of people around
they
the
just
world.
be following. Donnell said, "Be strong, young ladies." Monica says, "Thank you both for your transparency. That's healing. Two, you are very brave and strong. That you know you both could help a lot of people with your testimony." That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you. Thank you guys. We really appreciate that. We haven't really had no bad comments since we've been content creators. I mean, maybe once or twice, but not really.
It's always
Everybody
one
really
or two.
loves
It's
us.
always one or two, right? It wouldn't even be fun without the
Exactly.
one or two. It wouldn't even be fun without the one or
Exactly.
two. So sometimes
So
you
it's
need at
like
least one.
everybody love us because we be our authentic self. Like we show us. Like we don't put on content for fake stuff. We don't put on content for bad stuff. We just do us and let people just know us for who we are. That's just it. And I'm trying to get some pranks on my wife, but that's gonna be later. Don't worry about that.
I'm talking about because she be taking her pranks a little bit too far for me. Okay, she taking her pranks a little bit too far. Now, when I catch her on one day, one of these days in my life of living, I'm gonna get her real good. I'm gonna have my own prank, and I'm gonna get her real good. And watch what I tell you. The world gonna know. It's gonna be Team J then. It's gonna be Team J then. They all for Team Beauty right now. Watch.
But yeah, so that's just that with that one.
And so you guys meet. So how'd you guys meet?
So I'm very, like I said, I'm a content creator, right? So I'm very popular on Tag. Tag is like Facebook. It's like you can go live and things like that. And if you've been watching me a lot, you know my 5 favorite songs because I play it all the time in the background. So you can play music on Tag.
She got 6 while she talking about 5.
No, I said 5. The 6th one is the bonus. I love. Clock that. But I got 5 songs, okay, that I'm always playing, plus then a bonus song. My name is Beauty. It was Black Beauty at first on Tag. It was Black Beauty, but it became Beauty with 2 eyes, not a Y. And I'm gonna let her tell you the rest because this is where she coming in.
Well, now I got the microphone. All right, so how it is on Tag, just like it is when you are live on Facebook or YouTube. Sometimes, like you'll see certain people come in, and then you don't know certain people coming.
Okay.
So I was just scrolling through on the profiles. I was just scrolling through, being a creep. Okay,
Oh,
so
so scrolling through on a profile? Okay.
yeah, so yeah, because I was scrolling through trying, I was looking because at that point I was single and my ex best friend at the time, who was my best friend, she's just like, man, you need to try, go out and do your thing, whatever. So I'm scrolling, and her face pops up, her profile pops up. So I'm like, oh, that's a fine thing right there. Okay, I said other things, but that's explicit. That's rated R. Okay. So she's like, yeah. So me looking at her and me knowing me, I'm like, I don't think I'm her type. She look like she like hardcore type of, women like, walk around with strap-ons all day. Me, I'm just a fluffy old type man, okay? She don't want to look at her and look at me. It's no competition, okay? You might, okay? So therefore, so I so happen to just click on her page, and at the time, the first time, so she didn't see me pop in. So she didn't even know I was in the first time I ever came on her live. And at that point she was doing her little trivia with her top 5 songs with the bonus songs. Okay. So I'm like, all right, so I'm getting it, getting it to my mental so that the next time this goes around, because I hadn't heard, I had heard the songs, but my mental hadn't picked it up. So the next day, it had been a few days later after that, she was doing a trivia again. At this point, I came up in there. I don't think she saw me again, but I came up in there. I was on point. I was ready. She said, so what's this song? Boo, boo, boo. Make a long story short, I named all of them songs and I got that moolah, okay? So, this thing here. She don't check her inbox.
Yeah, because I was doing a trivia for $100. Like, it was supposed to be, if you can guess my fave songs, that I play, that means I know that you have been watching me for a long time, and I was gonna give away $100, and she got the $100.
I only
Go
needed
ahead.
one shot, not a long time. I only needed one shot. So, so at that point after that, I ended up going in her inbox. She don't check her inboxes, okay? She had like 99 million inboxes in her stuff. So luckily, so happily, I was lucky to be that one she picked. I guess I was at the top of the list.
I finally
So
went in my inbox that day.
so we ended up messaging each other back and forth. And at this time, we were messaging each other back and forth. My best friend at the time, every month, because we worked for Amazon together at the same location, so every month we would plan a little best friend trip. So we were going to Richmond for the weekend. So, me and her messaging at the same time. I'm on my way to Richmond, and she finally agreed that we exchanged numbers. So we were talking and talking and things like that. And when me and my best friend had finally touched down in Richmond, at this point, I'm sitting in the hotel room still talking to her. She says, "Oh, yeah, I'm hungry. I want me some crawfish." So I ended up door dashing her some crawfish. What you got, 2 pounds of crawfish? So I ended up door trying to sweep my way in. So, okay, you hungry? I got you. Go ahead. I ended up door dashing her some crawfish. And she said, when you gonna see me? When I tell y'all, I cut my trip short. We just got there. I cut my trip short.
Sure.
I said, I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna come see you tomorrow. So I told my best friend, I said, we got to cut this trip short. I'm sorry. I drove all the way from Richmond to Baltimore to drive my best friend off to come back to DC to come pull her. And I pulled up. At this point, I had to see, I was showing off, okay, because I had my dreadlocks, I had my eyes, but they weren't my eyes. But she didn't know that they was not my eyes. But
I clearly jumped in her arms once she got it.
Okay, and I pulled
like
up.
We was forever lovers, I swear to God.
And I pulled up in the Tesla, okay? Now I was stunting, okay? Because I was rental from Hertz. I pulled up in that Tesla with my fake
contacts, okay?
Okay. So then here's where it gets real. Now, we were supposed to have gone on the first date, right? Mind you, before her, it had been a while since I had been in a relationship. I had been single. So, but I was really attracted to her. I was like, oh yeah, this about to be mine. She like this teddy bear. So I'm trying to make her, I'm trying to get to where we at right now with her.
Yeah.
So we ended up going on a date, but it wasn't a date, it was a double date. So it was her god sister with her, and then it was my best friend with me. So we ended up okay. So we ended up going to Dave and Buster's. So we ordering food. Me and my best friend, mind you, and I'm speaking on myself because now that I look at it, I'm like, man, that's real fucked up. Now that I look at how I treated her on our first date, but it wasn't a first date. I'm forcing. So we had all ordered food, right? But
she about to tell you the real deal.
But I wasn't showing her much attention. I was shooting pool, playing pool with my best friend. Wasn't really showing her attention, so she was already getting mad with me. And then when it came down to buying the food, I didn't buy her food. And and like she just like, well, if you get in, now that we talk about it, she just like, well, if you couldn't afford to buy food, you could have told me, or something, which I could have. And I wasn't showing her attention because I was nervous at the same token. I was like, okay, I invited her on the first date. I'm really attracted to her, but what am I gonna say? So then I tried to make it a little better by when we went bowling after we shot pool. So she don't know how to bowl.
I tried.
She tried. So I'm like, all right, I'm bowling for her, and she ended up winning. But she still ended up being mad at me. So the whole time in the car, from the time we got in the Tesla to drop my best friend off, it was cold shoulder, moment of silence, silent. It was a long silence. She didn't speak to me worth nothing. After we dropped my best friend off and going back to DC to take her home, nothing. Silence. She ain't say nothing to me. I said goodbye to her. She didn't say nothing to me. She just opened the door, walked out, and the door slammed. So I ended up calling because I was calling her phone. It was blocked. at this point, all right, now I'm boohooing the crowd. Like, what's going on?
Hold on.
So she had me blocked.
Immediately.
Immediately she had me blocked. So I'm calling her back. I'm calling her gossip. I'm like, sis, like, yo, what's going on? Like, please, yo, why she got me blocked? Tell her answer the phone. Like, I'm sorry. Like, please, please let her. I want some with her. So if it wasn't for her sister, we would not be here where we are today, because her sister ended up telling her what was going on. She ended up unblocking me, and then Cougar Couture, here we are, baby boo.
First of
Man, that was.
First of all, she blocked you. Me, I think it was blocked before she got out.
Yeah, I think so. Now that I think about it, I think so too.
She was blocked when she
Did
didn't
you
pay
block
for
her
my
at the bowling
food.
alley?
She was blocked when she didn't show me no attention. She was blocked before she even won them daggone bowling things for me. She was blocked then. I just tried to give her another chance, but it didn't work. It didn't work out until she got home.
Yeah, bowling. She thinking she making them whole time. She blocked, don't even know it.
Rock Betsy.
Man, that was horrible, man. You never know how somebody is so angry
And then
until
she
you
had an
really feel
iPhone,
it.
so I would unblock her and see her crying and stuff. And she crying on the pillow, the tears running. I think that's what kind of made me. Then I blocked her back again. Look, I think that's what kind of made me feel sorry for her, because I see them tears. She had the music playing in the background. I said, Lord, she is going to cry in the car.
She is sick.
I wasn't even outside. Wasn't outside. I was sitting outside the Tesla waiting for a good minute. I was hoping she was gonna come down that elevator and come outside.
Yeah, that's how we met. And
that is hilarious. She said,
then,
look, she over
a
there
year
playing
later,
pool with her best friend, and she over there blocking you. Don't even realize she over there blocking you.
And then 1 year later, we got married.
Oh, yeah, 1 year? Okay.
Yeah. So we got married April 6, 2024.
Okay.
That was almost 2 years.
So why do you think y'all got married so soon?
Because the love was really there for real.
Mm-hmm.
It was really there. I really felt it regardless of what happened in the beginning. And that she actually, put forth effort. And if you're gonna put forth effort for me and be consistent with the love you have for me, yeah, it's time for me to lock that thing down.
She said lock it down.
So,
Okay, so
she locked it down, but I mean the feelings was mutual.
It definitely was for me. Everything about her is genuine and authentic, of course, and she really understood me when nobody else did. She within that year she knew me more than I knew myself. Um, she was there. I had nobody else. Um, I went through a lot, even in the time we were together. I was going through a lot. She was the reason why I spoke to my mother. I hadn't spoke to my mother before her. I hadn't spoke to my mother in a year and a half, almost two. She was the reason why I picked up the phone and called my mother to speak to my mother. And
at that time, I wasn't even talking to mine.
That was gonna be my question. I was definitely gonna ask you that.
I wasn't using my same judgment, the same thing, the same advice I was giving her to respect and talk to her mom. I mean, I was talking to my mom, but it just wasn't as consistency. But I wanted her to know that you still have a mom, because I had to learn that. And sometimes, you don't know if your mom really needs you. So I had to tell her, like, look, still pick up your mom. I hadn't talked to my mom in 2 years at one point, but I picked up the phone. And sometimes my mom may deny me. She may say, what are you calling me for? All that. But I still made the effort. And that's why I pushed her forward to make the effort at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if they deny you, they just deny you. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. At least you can say that you tried.
Right.
But out of everything I've been through, and
Hold up.
hold up. Are
You
we
still
still
there?
there?
Can you hear me?
No.
Can you hear me?
You still here?
Oh
Oh my lord.
man. Okay, what we need to do now? Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. It just froze.
Yeah. So
I think where you left off, where you were explaining, you were saying how you basically didn't take the advice you were given.
yeah, I didn't take
Oh,
the advice. So I just, pretty much wanted her to at least make the effort. Because once you make an effort, you know you're doing it for you, from your heart. And if they don't accept it, then they just don't accept it. It's
exactly.
nothing we can do. We got to move forward because we got our own life to live. We can't be stressing over nobody else's life, even though that's our parents, if they don't want to forgive us and we're willing to forgive them for everything they put us through as an adult because we don't want to go back in the past, we want to move forward, so
Right.
we're willing to forgive and call and talk or whatever the case may be. If you can't do that, then we don't need to deal with you. We need to just forgive you, move on, because we can't be stressed. You know what I mean?
Right.
We have to move on with our own life just as well as you got to move on with yours. So I can't be stressed over my kids and what they feel about me. I gotta be here for me because if I can't be here for me, one day my kids may forgive me and I ain't gonna be able to be there for them. So at the end of the day, I just told her to pick up the phone and call your mom, and that's it.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'm sure you needed that too, right?
I needed it, me or her.
No, when you both needed it, but at the time
Yeah,
you picked up the phone, so I'm sure she needed that at that time.
I needed it. Um, but I can never say I don't regret it. But sometimes, in a way, it feels like I do.
Mm.
But as far as why I chose my wife is because she showed me unconditional love. Um, she showed me tough love, as she still does now. Um, she's somebody that I didn't want to go to sleep next to and wake up and not be there, or travel around the world and she's not right there, or laugh and joke and she's not the one to laugh and joke with. She gave and she still gives me a lot of happy moments, a lot of laughter, a lot of joy.
vice versa. Let me tell you what really got me after that situation. Hold on, let me get on this real quick. This girl for my birthday. This was a little bit. This was before we got married, right? This was a little bit after I accepted her back. After I took her off that block list. Okay, and my birthday was coming up. Okay, she took me on a 10-state trip without stopping,
Mm.
just driving nonstop. Only time we stop is when we gotta go. When we stay in a certain state we stayed in every state for about 2 weeks.
Mm.
She asked me where did I want to go, up or down. I went down first, south, down. Then on our way back up is when I went up. Then we came back home.
Mm.
10 states. We went to Tennessee. We went to Ocean City. We went to Alabama. We went to Atlanta City,
Atlanta, North Carolina,
Atlanta, North
South
Carolina,
Carolina.
South. Man, we was everywhere within that three. What was it? That
About a month.
about a month. Yeah, it's been
So it
about
was
a
about a
month.
month. It took about a month to do that.
Yeah.
And we had our youngest.
And I had my daughter Ava with me,
We
the
had
other
our
twin, and the other twin was at home with the nurse because she would get 16 hours a day. But when you want to travel, then you can put in a little bit more time. Yeah, that's what
because
made me really take the cake. That's why I really was like, oh, hold up, man.
that's
It's
because
time to get it started.
not
And she
only
loved to drive.
I love to
She
drive,
loved to drive.
and not only that, she was very disappointed. Like, it was a lot of. She had plans for her birthday before I even made the plans. She had plans that just she was upset. She wasn't gonna show up, but she was upset. And I called her. I said, I'm on my way. Came to the apartment. I said, pack your stuff. Let's go. And she didn't even know. She didn't even know what was going on. I said, pack your stuff. Let's go. And at that,
That was a spontaneous moment for me for her, and that's what made me really fall in love more and more. I didn't mean cut you off.
so
And so this is okay. So hold on. So this is how many months after y'all met?
That was already after that year.
Okay, so it's probably a year later.
So my birthday was coming. My birthday was coming up again, but that's what made me really. We was getting back. We was getting to, like getting into each other within that year. So then my birthday was coming right back up, and that's when she was. Yeah, that's when really made me fall. I wasn't in love within that year.
Right.
But after that, that's when I started falling in love with love. I was in lust and but not. It wasn't there yet until after that trip for my birthday.
So that did it. That was the.
That did it because I'm a traveler. I always travel with my kids everywhere, but it's always me and my kids. And at first, it was just me and my kids and my baby father. But after that, it was just like I was home. I was doing it by myself. Everything was just by myself. Traveling with the children. I even be like since then I had to let all the kids come with me. My older daughter kids, I pay for all of them. Everybody got it was just crazy. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to be around all the children at that point.
So then after the road trip, so proposal happens, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So the wedding bells. Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead. You want to tell us something?
I proposed to her because there's this club that she introduced me to. It's called Base. Now everybody that we was around that knew her that she introduced me to, they was in on it besides her. And
another surprise.
Another surprise. And greatly, it was karaoke night that night. So, I don't know how to sing, but I know how to sing. So
she know how to sing very well. But go ahead.
So I had it set up to where I told her friends, "Hey, I need you to sit her right here." The DJ was in on it. The DJ already knew when and what song to play. So she was sitting down and she's trying to figure out why everybody got cameras out, why everybody phones.
Now, mind you, I used to work here, so they all know me.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I ended up starting to sing the song, and here she goes. She cried, baby. She started crying. The next thing you know, after the song, I ended up saying my proposal words, got down on one knee, and we was all waiting for the "yes, I do." And what you said?
Class that.
I said that too.
So it was she was crying.
She probably said that after the yes. She probably said clock that T after the yes.
Well, no, clock that T wasn't even out then. I didn't even know that. I just started this. Look, I just learned it. I'm a little old school, so I don't know nothing about that, at that time. But now I just be like, okay, yeah, but yeah, I just cried for a minute and I was like looking around like, oh, y'all knew, telling my friends y'all knew about this before I even said yes. I'm like, y'all knew about this stuff. Even the owner knew about it. Everybody knew about it but me. So yeah, I said, you know what? Yeah. That's it.
So now
I said that's it right there.
So y'all high off life at this point, right? Proposals.
It's still a little rocky.
Okay. Well, sometimes it get
so we dealing with this house's move. We sold the house that her dad was living in. This is the house that we're in right now. So we were trying to head to Texas because that's where we bought a house from. So we packing up everything, trying to get things together. We got plenty of time up in here though. But we're just trying to get everything because Dad left this house with a lot of stuff. Not to mention, but at the wedding, my father didn't even walk me down the aisle. My uncle did, and I really appreciate my uncle. Shout outs to him. Mm-hmm. Dad, I love you a lot, but I'm not with it. I was hurt from that, and I ain't gonna cry about it. I forgive you. I forgave you, and I'm done with it. I just want you to know on live that you hurt my feelings with that one. But anyway, my father-in-law planned on walking me down the aisle before my uncle stepped in and came in and walked me down that aisle. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't even know. She didn't even know until last minute. Because it was something that me and the coordinator, because we weren't sure that her uncle was even gonna come. Because when we found out guaranteed that her dad wasn't coming, it kind of threw her off a lot. And
I was not about to get married.
it got her to the point where she didn't want to get married, but then it got her to the point where she was just like, I'm gonna walk by herself. Um, and the relationship that her and my dad had, it wasn't gonna go down like that. So me and the coordinator and my dad had said, well, hey, you know, can you walk her down the aisle? Because after he had to walk me down the aisle, he was gonna end up turning back around and walking her down the aisle. So she was gonna think that before she came through the door, she was gonna think that she was walking herself. But my dad would have had came out the doors the side doors in the back of the building and stood by her to walk her down the aisle. So you know that was a moment.
But the plan was for my dad.
Mm-hmm.
But when we found out about him, my uncle said he would do it for me. But we didn't know if my uncle was going to show up, but he showed up and showed out and did that thing for me, and I love him for it. I love him dearly.
I sung at the wedding too.
Okay, Miss, I can't sing, but I can sing.
Okay. And it was hard. That song right there, it only took me a week. It took me a week to sing that song.
I made her learn that much. I knew she was going to sing it. I mean, I knew she was going to sing it at the wedding, but I didn't think she was going to master it. I mean, I knew she would because she could sing. All she had to do was just learn a little bit more days. She would have got that. And she definitely nailed it.
Which the microphone cut me off?
She went a cappella, Miss April.
That's what's up. That's so.
Because the microphone cut off.
Okay, so now you guys are to a place where, excuse me, so you're married, you pulled your family together at this point, and so tragedy hits again. But you guys have each other. You don't have to do it alone, right? And so take us to the moment where things started going downhill for one of the twins.
I'm not sure. It really wasn't. It just happened out of nowhere. It wasn't she was always the same person. Mm-hmm. I guess she just got tired that day. Mm. And she probably felt like she was tired. Her mom's tired. You know. She was just probably tired of suffering. And it just happened. They tried to revive her. She came back for a little bit, but
I'm so sorry.
she came back for a little bit, but they did everything they could. And I was sitting right there watching. They tried. And she just was tired. And she just went for her last breath.
I can imagine. I can imagine what that is like. Losing a child. But you had her there with you to go through, right? Excuse me. Oh, which is a.
Okay, it's okay.
Take your time. It's okay.
That's what happened. But
Got through it together as best you could.
um, it's just the fact that I had to keep explaining to the twin, which was hurting me every day, because she kept asking where was she at, and then and I'm gonna tell this while I'm grieving. Before I even buried my daughter, I found out that the twins' father, went in cahoots with me, with his mom, to go get custody of my baby Ava and take her away from me. Because I went in the hospital, I couldn't get the court date, so they ended up taking her away from me because I didn't go to the court date because I was in the hospital getting blood transfusions. So I don't have Ava or mine right now. After you ain't did nothing in 4 years. The whole time they was there. You ain't did nothing. You wasn't there. I been taking care of my twins by myself all this time. The whole 4 years up until the 4 years after we broke up. So the 4 years after we broke up, you ain't did nothing. And then you go behind my back after I lose my child and go try to get the other one that I only have right now. The only one. This, because I couldn't get to court because I was getting blood transfusions. You heard me twice. But like I said, I'm strong. I can't live for that right now. I gotta live for my own health. Wanna know why? Because if I don't have my own health, my own sanity, my own mental, like everything, I can't get my child back. So I'm doing what I gotta do to get my child back. Cause God get the last lick, and that's on real.
Yeah, it's the strength. It's the strength that it takes to even be. It's just your strength is just it's unbelievable. Like it really is. It really is. People talk about being strong and getting through fighting this. I mean, I'm sitting here listening and I feel like I done been through so, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so strong because of the battles I went through. Now this is yet a different. God is dispersing a certain level of strength within you, woman. You need to know that. You need to know that. That is your power, your strength. That is like your superpower, your strength. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Just one portion of your life, I know people that didn't make it through. Never bounce back. Never bounce back. And you still here. You're still able to smile. You're still able to enjoy life in spite of it all. In spite of it all. That ain't nothing but strength from God. Listen, we don't have that level of strength within us. You understand what I'm saying? We just don't have a level of strength within us. That's okay, because God is preparing you. Man, I'm telling you. And we don't know each other personally, but I promise you, when God delivers what He gonna deliver into your life, you're gonna be DMing me. And you gonna remember. That's why I told her, I said, I ain't gonna speak too much online. I'm
That's
waiting for
why.
time.
That's why I'm staying humble. That's why I'm just relaxing. I'm not relaxing, not getting comfortable, but I'm being humble. I'm just like, I gotta keep fighting. I
You have
gotta
to,
keep staying sane. I gotta keep on staying positive. I
please.
don't want to argue with no one. I don't want to fight with no one. I don't want to. be negative with no one. All I want to do is be positive and do what I got to do because it's already looking good for me already, me and my wife. And I already know that it's more in store for me.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
more in store for my wife. It's more in store for my children. My daughter, my oldest daughter doing hair and making a killing doing hair. Okay, I share her out all the time, but it's just like I'm good. 38. I'm pushing 40. Hey, I'm gonna be all right because
Yeah,
God
you
says
are.
so. And
Yeah,
what He got in store for me is for me,
yeah, absolutely.
not for my wife, not for my
I'm
kids,
trying to tell
not for my family, not for nobody. It's for me,
you, you better say
and
that.
I'm gonna make it happen. I
Yeah, you
promise.
are. Yeah, you are. Cause see, it's gonna be really hard to believe and that exciting to hear right now. But this is all preparation. It's all preparation.
Yep.
A diamond don't just come out shining. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm
Diamond
telling you.
don't just come out shining.
I'm telling you. Just
It's
gotta be
all
consistent.
preparation. I'm telling you, God got something powerful in store for you. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I feel in my spirit. I'm telling you, it's all preparation. And it's in all of these traumatic situations are not just strengthening you for the sake of being strong. It's strengthening you for your sanity. You know what I'm saying? For your family and for the people that's going to hear you. You said something earlier, I promise you I caught it. And you said you didn't have a voice. Chill, whatever. You didn't have a voice. That's past.
Exactly. I got
You
one now,
didn't
and I'm
have
gonna
a voice. And
speak it.
now we understand
I'm
why.
gonna speak it.
Now we understand why you were silent at a young age. Now we understand what the enemy was trying to do at a young age. And see, I ain't trying to get too super spiritual, but it's just in my heart. There are the enemy has a way of trying to get us at young ages. You know what I'm saying? He wants to get us at young age when we're immature, when we're uncertain, when we're lonely. You know what I'm saying? Because that is probably the most vulnerable state. You know what I'm saying? When you're young, unprotected, don't have a voice, that is when the situations can typically break us. But I'm trying to tell you, when you hold on and you stand strong, listen, it's not just about a testimony. I get it. I hear it. It's bigger than a testimony, man. It's bigger than a story. Mark my words. If you don't believe nothing you've ever heard come out of my mouth this whole life, it's bigger than just a story.
It
It's
definitely
bigger. It's
is.
deeper than just simply a testimony. I'm talking to both of y'all at this point. I'm telling you. I don't just speak. I ain't want to say God said I don't play no games like that. But I know what I feel in my heart. I know what I feel in my heart. And it's authentic. And I'm going to be hearing from y'all. I'm telling you, you're going to be in the inbox like, hey, brother, what is it? Watch what I tell you, man. God got something so powerful coming, man. I'm talking about, I see a book. I'm talking about like documentary. I'm telling you, just stay the course. Stay the course. And here's the unfortunate part about it. And you can blame me for it because I done put it out in the universe. The enemy coming. Just gird up. You know what I'm saying? I done put it in the universe. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Blame me, but I'm trying to tell you, it's going the enemy coming, and because ultimately the whole goal is to break you, but you can't be broken. Can't be broken. Neither one of y'all can be broken. Do you not agree that if what you've been through thus far hasn't breaking you, what you think the devil in hell gonna do now to break you? Nah, it
Exactly.
already
They
look. It
can't.
already came with
Ain't nothing. It's
all his
nothing.
best tactics.
Exactly.
It already came with all his best tactics. Conquered, overcame, grew, evolved. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just, yeah, I'm
I
staying
feel like it's
connected.
still gonna be obstacles, but we
Yeah,
we
that's
just
why I said
gotta
they coming.
remain. We
Obstacles
just gotta
coming.
remain humble.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah.
And
Obstacles
keep and
coming.
stay prayed up and stay with the faith.
Seriously, trust me, please, please, stay grounded, stay the course, hold your course, regardless of what happens. Tomorrow, next month, next year, stay the course. You closer than what you think. I don't care what it look like right now. Trust me, and I don't use this stuff lightly. I ain't want to be on here doing this on the live. I'm telling you, you closer than what you think.
Thank you so much.
Closer than what you think. God bless y'all. We're gonna get to some questions before we go. I said I was gonna hang y'all on here for 3 hours. We could 8:37 is typically, try me off at 8:30. I told y'all weren't gonna recognize the time, and that's it. Y'all gonna be so into it. Y'all ain't gonna recognize the time. So let me just I'm gonna go with a few questions. I actually think this question is for both of y'all. So as a child, when can you recall feeling unsafe? At what age did you recall feeling unsafe, where you just did not feel protected?
The age would be, like I said, when I was molested.
Around 10 years old.
For me. So that was before 10.
10.
For me, it's 16.
16. Okay. So what scared you the most as a child?
When I first got arrested, the very first time, that scared me.
For me, it was actually realizing loneliness. Actually going through that darkness of loneliness for me.
So what would you say was the main thing you needed from an adult? That's for both of y'all. What was the main thing you feel you needed from an adult during those times?
The main thing I need was consistency and love. And I really needed my family. And it's not really their fault why they wasn't there. But I was taught to not be there, to not even really give them a chance. But I did on my own time, and that's when I became an adult.
For me, it's love, love and hope.
I felt that. So I need you to finish the sentence. This is for both of y'all. My childhood taught me to protect myself by
Staying strong and doing what I need to do for me.
Staying strong and finding my own way.
The ring hurt my finger, you holding all tight. Jesus.
It was the emotions.
I know she's quick. Her ring hurt my finger.
Okay, I want you to finish the sentence. As a child, I needed.
As a child, I needed love. As a child, I needed support. As a child, I needed no judgment.
As a child, I needed love. As a child, I needed my mom.
Losing a child made me
Losing one child made me feel like I don't want to lose another.
This is for both of y'all. The world doesn't see me as blank about being gay. The world doesn't see me as blank about being gay.
The world doesn't see me as normal about being gay.
I was about to say the same thing. It's the same thing for me.
It go the same way. They don't see us as normal.
I'm still unlearning blank.
I'm still unlearning. I'm still unlearning this thing called life.
Mm.
I'm still unlearning this thing called life and love.
Like that one.
Yeah, that was deep. Today I'm proud of.
Today I'm proud of me.
As you should.
Today I'm proud of my strength.
Yes, as you should. That's deep. And a few more. I question my worth when, and we're talking now. I question my worth when.
I question my work when I don't have the ability to move around.
Hmm.
And speaking of physically and emotionally and mentally, all three.
I question my worth.
You said work or worth?
I
Worth.
think worth.
With TH?
Mm-hmm.
PH.
Oh shit! I thought she said work. That's what I was.
It still kind of sound in sync
I
though.
mean, okay, yeah, it's still the same. I mean, it can say the same. I could have said something different, but okay, that's fine. Go ahead, baby.
I question my worth when I feel all is failing.
Mhm. What do you feel people don't understand about your relationship?
I really don't understand. I mean, I really don't know because no one never really showed us that they didn't understand our relationship. Not even we barely be around people, so if it ain't the family or anybody, they pretty much just showed us support. It's been a lot of support with the family and stuff. I was on my side of the family, like they accepted my wife. They accepted, our decisions, of being married and being together. Even if they didn't like it, they still supported and never showed that they didn't like it. So
It's,
I'm not really understanding, like, outside of the world what they don't understand because we don't really be out with no one. It's just me and my wife. We don't hang out with no one. We just do things together by ourselves.
mhm.
Go ahead. Okay.
Um,
Tell
I,
me.
I don't.
Do you need her to repeat it?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
What do you think people don't understand about your relationship?
Um, I don't think people understand our strength and our guidance within each other. Um, like she said, everybody on the outside social media world, they see and know what we give them content wise. But of course, all our content is authentic.
Mm-hmm.
But me on my side, I don't have the support, but the support that she gets from her side. Um, my family doesn't support who I am. My family doesn't support or see us for who we are.
In the weather.
Um, but the same, and I'm just gonna put it there. Specifically, my specifically my mother. Um, the same person that was at the wedding is the same person that wants my marriage, wants my life to go downhill.
Hmm.
Um, so when we mentioned about, was my wife the reason? My wife was the reason that I spoke to my mother. When I said I regret, sometimes I don't, but as moving further along, I do regret it. Um,
Open the
because
door. You regret opening up the door again.
for opening up that door. I thank my wife. To this day, I thank my wife. But
Because we had great times with her mom.
it was great.
It was just with that when her father passed away, that's when things started really falling here. But you can tell that her mom really didn't really condone or feel the fact that she, got married to me. But at the end of the day, she still was there supporting, but then turn around after later and continue to support. But then it was for more so what I can do for her, to be honest. And then when her father passed away, that's when things got worse. It was for more so that what we can do for her to help her survive, because she ain't got no money or whatever. She ain't doing this or she ain't doing that, or she need our help to learn how to read, or she need our help to learn how to spell things, or she need our help for stuff like that. And I'm spitting it out because I've been most disrespected ever since the father passed away. And I dealt with it, never disrespected her, none of that. But I'm gonna speak that out. You needed my help because again, my wife, she know how to read and write, but she don't know a lot of stuff either. So they both come to me for stuff like that because I was born here, and I know a lot here. And for me to be disrespected on a different level that has nothing to do with me, but has something to do with me because I'm supporting my wife and her decisions when it came to her father's funeral. They saying I'm in her ear, and it wasn't that. It was her making her own decisions, and I just went with it. Now, I did tell my wife behind closed doors because that's not for them if she was wrong or not, you know. And it just was like, oh, it's your wife. She's telling you this. You don't know how to make decisions for yourself. Da, da, da. They were disrespecting her, disrespecting me, and it was just like, dang, it got so bad. It really got really bad to this day. When my wife was incarcerated just recently, it was so bad. I was out here by myself defending for my daggone life,
Mm.
but I managed.
So life feels the most overwhelming when.
When I got a lot of when I feel like everything is on my plate. Like if you say overwhelming, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When everything is on my plate, which that's what I just said. When my wife was in jail, everything was overwhelming for me. Everything was coming to me. I had to do everything, the move, the lights, the bills, the this, the that. Everything was just on me. On top of getting in a car accident as well during that moment on November 26th. So it's like after just getting surgery in August. So like my body just feels so overwhelmed, not only mentally, like I said, stressfully, emotionally, and definitely physically. But guess what? I'm here, and that's all that matters to me. I wake up in pain every day due to everything that I'm got going on. But you know what? I try to dance. I try to do things to make me not feel the pain. Then I deal with the pain later. Something like that, if it makes sense. You know how you dance, you could be dancing all night and then you don't feel the pain till the next morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that Zumba in. I'm going to get the dancing because that's what I love to do, okay? I don't care if I'm in pain or not, accident or not, surgery or not. I'm going to dance and I'm going to get it out. And that's just the type of person that I am.
When do you
Um,
feel the most overwhelmed?
the most overwhelm is when I when I try to fight to make things better. um, and I say that because, like my wife said, when I was incarcerated, it really took a lot. It was really overwhelming, real overwhelming for me. Being in there those 3 months, um, and going through what my wife went through with my mom, with the house, with the bills. Um, it was very overwhelming knowing I was there and couldn't do nothing to help my wife, but to just give her information. It was hard for me. My anxiety got really bad in there. That they had to give me medication that my wife takes for her anxiety. Um, I really had to get to the Bible to help me to have the faith. Um, it was just a lot. Uh, just knowing that I was in a place where I couldn't just freely get up, and just hearing my wife cry, just hearing my wife's voice stressed out, and not knowing what to do, needing the help, and I'm not there. It was moments, 90 days where in those 90 days I should have been with my wife, and it still replays back in my head.
And not only that, we had to get the attorney. I had to get power of attorney. She had to sign everything over to me for me to make decisions. So imagine that. Imagine your life getting off. Imagine, that was the second time. This the second time my life's been off. But the first time I didn't have no authorization to do nothing when it comes to this home, and I had to wait. And then I would put books on. But this one, she always wanted. Put calls. This one, she want to call all dang on day. I'm not going to see the call and not answer it. Sometimes I had to bite the bullet and not answer. But yeah, I had to wait for the paper in the mail, the notarized paper in the mail, in order for me to make decisions. And it came through, and I overcame that and did what I had to do. Got the appraisal, got the lawyer, got the realtor, got all of that. Man, even got the house in Texas. So,
That's right. So, what promise did you all make to each other that goes beyond vows?
that goes beyond the house.
The
That
vows.
goes beyond vows.
Uh, um, Never to give up, I guess, because that's all we be. Hey, listen, I be ready to give up any moment, and not even for that. I'm just speaking the real truth. It's not even for the fact that she do anything bad. It's the fact that me. It's me. It's not her. It's her definitely. Don't get it twisted. If it makes sense, but it's me wanting to keep my own sanity for me. So if she ain't helping with it to make me, to help me with keeping my sanity, then I be wanting to give up, and that's how sometimes it come off. But I said I would never give up because I know she need me just like I need her, and there's no reason. Like we don't really have no big issues. We laugh and joke with each other all the dang on time, but it's just sometimes some things can be very annoying. And then having to keep asking for stuff over and over again, or have to keep telling stuff over and over again. That's my pet peeve with her. Like I gotta be like, can you please, like you wanted the dog duty, you got the dog duty. I shouldn't have to tell you to pick the shit up off the damn floor. Excuse my language, y'all. But yeah, and I ain't picking the poop up. I ain't gonna touch it. But if I got to, I got to. But that's my pet peeve. But that's the only thing.
Um, and promises to help her, help me, help her.
Uh,
What you always tell me.
yeah, because I always tell her, help me, help you,
Mm-hmm.
help us.
Cause it's almost like I want to help, but I can't help. It's almost like you gotta meet me halfway. Right.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she gotta meet me right here, and I'm helping her. Like I just feel like sometimes the burden is always on me. Well, most of the time, and I'm just speaking the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, all the burden is on me. So it's like I don't want to give up, but at the end of the day, I need you to meet me right here. Help me, help you, help us. That's it.
And one more, and we are done. Um, I actually think you already answered that. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's end with this. What do you say? What would you say to your 20-year-old self if you had the opportunity to?
Can I curse?
You have it. Go.
Bitch, work your shit. Period. Go get it, baby.
For me, it'd be bitch. You got some work to do, bitch. You got some work to do, bitch.
That's what she says for her.
She got some work to do. Okay.
That's real
That's it.
honesty. And I always ask, I find myself asking that question to most guests because it's almost like only if, right? Only if we actually had the ability to talk to our younger self. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would
Yeah.
I say to her? You know, what would I say
Yeah.
for her to keep going, for her to, change her mind, for her to act different, for her to react? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think
Yeah.
it's a very intimate moment that if we
Yeah.
had the opportunity to ask our younger self, like, what would we actually say?
Shoot, my younger self would need to go back and be like, well, where's she at? Because I wish I met her on my younger self instead of
I
that.
just be like, I would just be like, just keep moving forward to my younger self. Like, keep moving forward, get to where you don't have to bury your kids. Let your kids bury you.
Hmm.
That's it.
What a way to end. Well, I so thank y'all for your time, and your honesty and
Oh,
transparency. This has been amazing. I'm excited for what's in store and what's to come and what's next. So just hold the course, man. Just stay the course. Keep doing what y'all know what's in you to do, in spite of
yeah.
what y'all face. Like seriously,
Yeah.
whatever y'all face. And so anything else y'all want to mention? Y'all got anything coming up? Or I know y'all doing some content creating. What y'all go live like random, or is it like a certain time of the
Yeah, we go live random. We go live consistent. It's a lot with us. It's never you never will know.
never
We
know?
just pop up. I mean, but we got our followers. We got the Reebok. We got a lot going on with what we trying to do with Reebok. We got our clothing line coming out real soon. I got my nail business coming out real soon. It's really coming out. What else we have?
We
We
gotta
got to we
move.
move. We got our move to Texas. So we got a lot of pranks that I'm gonna do on
I keep
wifey.
telling you, see what I'm saying?
Um,
God, I got a good one for
and
you.
pretty much we just eat. I eat a lot on YouTube. Yeah, I don't eat a lot. Of course, y'all know I don't eat a lot.
I do.
People, she's the eater, but I'm a seafood eater. Okay, my wife can't get down. Okay, but what else? We got a lot of little stuff coming up. Y'all just stay tuned, and
Stay tuned.
we'll see y'all in the next lifetime.
Yeah, let me ask you a very personal question. How would you all feel if, let's say, like your daughter, or let's say, like your brother, comes to a point in life where they feel drawn and attracted to the opposite sex? Do you feel that you will be as supportive as you want others to be?
Yes,
Yes,
indeed.
indeed. See, my brother.
Hey, my daughter. I don't even know. I don't even know if my daughter is into that, but I doubt it. But at the end of the day, if either one of them, because they done seen a lot with us, you know, especially with me, you know, when it comes to a woman. But I don't know. I would be transparent. I wouldn't. Hey, it's your choice. You got your own life, you know, and you're grown at this point. And even with Ava, she's been 8. Like you're gonna be grown soon, so you gotta make your own decisions. You know, I mean, you can't make a decision right now, okay? But when you get a certain age, that's your decision. That's what your preference. Like I can't even judge you.
Mm-hmm.
How can I judge my own kids when they seeing it?
What the question comes from is interesting because I kind of really do my research for interviews. I don't just come up with stuff and sit down and break bread and just chop it up. And what I was finding, which was interesting, is a lot of homosexual relations, whether it's women or men, a lot of them don't sound as supportive if one of their children chose that lifestyle. I thought that was interesting. It's like,
I think that's
Well, I don't know.
I think that goes because I mean this is just my thought process. Because I've been gay since actually fully knowing for sure this is what I want since I was 17, 18. I think some homosexuals have that mind state because of the fact of what they went through in life as going through that in society. Like with me per se, per example, my when I first told my dad that I like women, I got a whole different reaction from him than my mom. My dad said, "Well, good, I ain't got to worry about you getting pregnant no time soon." As where I told my mom, me and my mom, we literally got into a physical fight, and she sent me off to my cousin in Baltimore for 2 weeks. And that's because the mentality is, "Oh, you're my only daughter. You're not gonna have no kids." But see, she doesn't know the process. She doesn't know that, okay, I can still have children even though I'm not with a man. So I don't think it's more so it's just that they don't homosexuals don't want their children that those that have children to go through the negative in society.
the
They don't want them to go
experience,
through
like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
experiences that they went through.
And
So if
especially not to cut you off, especially when a lot of killing
yeah.
and fighting and beating and all the type of stuff that goes on outside of the home. You know what I mean? Um, we fear for that too, especially if we've seen it or experienced it. You know, we fear for our children to go through that. But at the end of the day, me personally, I would still support because, like I said, it took a while for my mom to support. My mom didn't really support at the time, but she did, and she accepted her and loved her dearly.
That's my little lady there.
So I guess she probably felt like the same thing because she already got grandkids, so that can't be the issue. But I guess she probably didn't see in society how they get beat up, they get killed, they get
and I think that's what I was getting from a lot of the couples that I
yeah
was. I think that, like, I heard one older couple, they was like, I wouldn't wish this on my own kids. And I was like, that.
yeah because it's a lot that comes with
It's a
it.
lot
It's a
that
lot
comes
that
with
comes
it.
with being with the same sex, and you gotta just realize that you don't want your kids to see or experience the same thing that we've seen growing up and experiencing.
And that's
So
what anything.
that's a fear. It's a fear, but at the end of the day, we still have to support our children. At the end of the day, for whatever reason they want to be the way they want to be, you know. And I will.
Now my
I will
brother
have to
prefer.
talk. I will have to talk with them, but at the end of the day, I can't tell them this is not a good thing because this is. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you're going to do it.
Well, I think, like you said, I think today's society, things have shifted drastically. It's almost like, and I know we were done, but when I was closing, I realized that was a question that was bold I never asked. It's almost like where, to your point, it's the experience, the process of it that they're afraid that they might endure if they travel the same road, right? And so you have that on top of today's society now, which is drastically different. Now you got kids wanting to choose to be gay at 8, 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? Before they
Yeah.
really experience any form of life.
Exactly.
And you know what I'm saying? So it becomes a thing where I think from a few of the couples I know, one of the alpha females in one particular relationship, she was pretty much saying she just hate the fact that it appears to be forced on children nowadays. At one point,
Yeah,
it was
because they
forced on
look at what
children.
they see, and you know, kids pick up on what they see.
Mm-hmm.
So if they see it, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna get curious and want to try it.
But
And
you
that's
don't
how
think
I
it's more
think.
forced though? Because I think we've.
No, it's not really
It's not
forced.
forced.
It's just pretty much they're just watching. You know, kids. That's like us cursing. Like we can cuss at you, cuss at the kids. What they gonna do? Pick up, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if they see same sex in the same house, kissing, whatever the case may be, they gonna be like, oh, okay, that look like that's good. I like
They'll be
that. You know what I'm
curious.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're gonna be
But
curious
I
about it,
guess
and
what
then
I was
next thing they're gonna want.
asking, which is what this alpha lesbian woman was saying. She said that she feels like today's society is forcing it on children. At one point, you either saw it because it was your parents or somebody in the neighborhood, but it wasn't forced. It wasn't more so like, oh, well, you can choose to do it at 9. She was almost like it's like
because
it
now
kind
you
of
got
over time it's changed. You think it
yeah, you
changed
got
over
And then you
time?
got all these movies and
you
stuff.
got
Yeah,
movies
okay,
with
but
Yes,
same
in
sex
movies
and stuff.
now. Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I don't know about being forced, but if it is, I mean, I don't know. But like I said, with your question to me, I feel like I'm gonna support my kid. You know, my kids ain't into it right now. At the end of the day, thank God. But whenever they feel like they want to be into it, I will have the talk before, and then still support. You know, it's their decision at the end of the day. But I would definitely talk to them and let them
But the
know.
conversation you think is important to have.
Yeah, exactly. And I will have it a little early on before they adults, if it makes sense. I mean, before they teenagers, you know, to tell them, you know, listen, I will support you, but I want you to know such and such and such, and what's going to happen and how it's going to happen, how the backlash you're going to get, how the hate you're going to get, how the people ain't going to like you, how you know. I will have that conversation with my kids before they decide that this is what they want to do. Yeah.
You got your 2 cents on that before we end?
Yeah, I'm good. You done?
Man,
I'm ready to eat my ribs. I've been craving
Oh,
ribs.
they off the bone now.
I'm trying to tell you, they already. Well, I've been turned them off because I ain't want them to burn. Remember?
Oh, okay.
But they is falling off the bone already.
Well, again, thank y'all for your patience and y'all transparency. Let's talk about it. It was on all platforms. Anybody looking for any real estate properties in DC, Maryland, Virginia, Florida, or Georgia, you can reach out to me. That's Davis Development Group. Anybody looking for any rental properties, leasing, short-term or long-term, that's AirDDG. You can reach out to me. Anybody need electrical services, whether it's residential or commercial, that's Sendale Systems. You can reach out to me. Anybody need athletic apparel? My son's 17 years old. He has a clothing brand called Be Empowered. You can reach out to me. Those are all family businesses. It's all for us, by us. Thank you guys for your patience. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all can reach us at every platform. Y'all know us. Y'all know where we at. Be there.
Thank y'all. Peace.
Bye bye.